Be honest, did you bring me here to murder me? Hey guys, my name is Molpe and welcome to the Grandcle Dating Simulator. This is where we ended up. Really figured these two knuckleheads dragged you out here. Why not make breakfast at home? This place is at least 15-minute walk from the shack. Well... He glanced at Dipper, swinging his finger across Mabel's cheek and licking a blueberry syrup off. Mabel has a pancake in her mouth, chewing on it and grazing sheep. I wanted to treat them to something, I guess. You know, I cannot cook, but I have money. It's the least I can do. You're letting me stay with you and fixing my car. I thought, since you were gone, I would take these two out for a change. Also... Mabel was gonna make Mabel cakes again. Wow, you're just mad you can't even make toast right. Yeah, I burned it one time. The holds his syrup-tipped finger in the air. Indignant. What? Well, Mabel wanted you guys to enjoy her paper cakes too, and since there wasn't much food, I figured I would take them out. Let's not talk about this anymore. Fork asked Mabel about her creation, wondering how much extra caffeine one could gain from adding instant coffee to the concoction, but Stan stays quiet. You catch him out the corner of your eye. He's staring at you, a lopsided smile tagging at the corner of his mouth. Oh, thanks, Molpe. Appreciate it. Oh, you big sweetheart. Oh, no problem at all. You smell warmer and Stan's despite the heat spreading over your cheeks, but he's rubbing the back of his neck, looking down his feet. Mabel throws a theatrical wink your way. You are not sure why. Well, kid, if you're paying, scoot over, Dipper. I want breakfast too. Stanley, it's at least 12:30 now. Grandpa Ford, it means it's time for brunch. Duh. Yeah, and the second breakfast. See, these kids get me. Now let me in so I can grab them. Dipper moves to your side of the booth as Stan sits next to Mabel and Ford sits at Dipper's side. Lazy Susan comes back and takes another orders for another round of food, drinks, and for everyone, including Mabel, who decided that she wants more pancakes. You're starting to regret offering to pay, but as Stan and Mabel try their hand-at-hand syrup drip race, with Dipper cheering them and Ford watching them with a wide grin on his face, you know you don't really mind that much. Oh, the family time together. This is so nice. Cursed artifacts. Over the next 2 days, you continue to help out around the mystery shack, not out of obligation, but because you have nothing better to do. Besides, Seuss, practically the golden retriever of people, is really digging the input on the current installments from the outsider's perspective. Bless his soul, that guy even offers you a job if you end up stranded here forever, dude. And I need to make life for herself. Stan nearly choked on his ice pop as he overheard. Thinking about it now, the relationship between Seuss and Stan is unexpected, if not a little odd, but it makes you smile that no matter how many times Stan may roll his eyes and as he does it, he'll always help Seuss to get something done. Hey, I was thinking, like... Stan and Ford are granduncles to the children, which means they're like great uncles, which means they're on the like level of their grandparents, right? When it comes to the age, and they're like, well, Mabel and Dipper, they are 13. I think they already said that. So their parents could be about, I don't know. I'm trying to think about it here. You know, maybe their parents had them very young, so maybe their parents are just over 30. So it would mean that Grandpa Ford and Stan are about around 60. Okay, like 50, 60. That is a good age. Because, you know, when I think about my grandparents, I'm like, they're almost 90. That's why would anyone want to date them? But I can understand dating a 50-year-old guy. I know that's that's a story for another evening. But let me know in comments if you want to hear a story about a hot 50-year-old guy. Showered and dressed, you go outside as per usual, but don't see anyone. After a few minutes search, you find Stan standing with his back to you in one of the exhibit rooms, admiring the weird and wonderful animal amalgamates he's collected for his tourist trap. Hand at his chin in thought. Am I interrupting something important between you and the goosurki? Stan turns at the sound of your voice and smiling. Nope. You need something? You have any plans for tonight? He mouths your question over a few moments, giving you an assessing look up and down. I've got a couple errands to run. Why you want to tag along? Depends. Actually, I'm going to see. Only if you need a partner in crime. Only if you need a partner in crime. Stan blinks in surprise. Ha! What are you, psychic? Wait, really? It was just a figure of speech, but you guess you should have known better. Alright, I'm heading out in a couple of hours. Meet me up front. Yes! A couple of hours, but no buts! It's 12 a.m. in the morning. Time for brunch. You can rush this stuff, trust me. Okay, sure. Not ominous at all, Stan. Not ominous at all. Yeah, meet me out front if you think you can handle it. He turns to go but stops for a second and turns his back. Oh, and wear black. Done! Something you don't mind getting dirty. Well, I mean, it's pretty fancy, sure. Okay, I'm gonna change. And before you can ask why he's gone into the depths of the shack. BAM! Now I'm prepared for Stan. This is not fancy at all. A couple of hours into a handful, which you pass by watching some TV with Mabel and Dipper and dozing off. Children and the TV. You have no idea what kind of satellite they get out there, but the shows on now are some of the most bizarre programming you've seen ever. I think Ford, played with the TV, so now we are getting all signals from the galaxy, like Rick from Rick and Morty.
I'm Anson, my eyes, Johnson. Everything's black. I can't see a thing, and also I can't feel anything either. Did I mention that? But that's not as catchy as having ants in your eyes.
Once you've had enough of waiting, you change into the darkest clothes, sit out on the front steps of the shack, watching as the sun starts to sink past the trees. It's cloudy and unusually warm for this time of the day, but there's a nice breeze out. It's strange that these errands need to open so late in the day, considering the things you've gathered about his criminal past. However, maybe this is a typical weekday night for a stand. Oh, you look good! The screen door creaks out, and out comes Stan, dressed all in black just like you, with lumpy... This looks like he has the tag on his t-shirt. Duffel bag under one arm. What are we doing, Stan? As he's about to speak, a sudden gust of wind comes along and ruffles his hair, and he soothes it down irritatedly before regaining his cool and nodding at you. Ready? Ready! You slide into the passenger seat as Stan settles into the driver's seat. It takes a couple of tries to start, but the engine is chugging away by the time you've got your seatbelt on. The radio stammers to life as the engine goes, spitting out the generic song rock music into the leather-scented air of the car's interior. Wait, what was it? It was like... Dude. Wait, what was it?
Zeus! I'll buy you a new one.
I cannot remember for the love of me what the song was that Zeus and Wendy listened in the car. The only thing I can hear right now is Disco girl coming through. That girl is you. Oh, oh. That was not it. I don't know. It reminds me of Baba. After a moment spent adjusting mirrors and fiddling with knobs, Stan slots the gear in shift into drive and pulls out of the mystery shake slot and down the road to the town. Alright, we have some action. The radio's on and Stan stabs his finger on the steering wheel to the beat of the music while he drives. So I think we are not making a quick trip for milk and eggs. By the way, the music... human music. I like it. He laughs and glances over at you. Nope. And where are we going? First stop is to see a buddy of mine, a hunter. I get all my taxidermy supplies from him. So where you get your parts from? Yeah. I just figured you got them from a local farm or something. And do business with those hippies? Not a chance. He looks much younger in this picture right here. Well, I really enjoyed making the showpiece with you the other day. I had no idea you were so creative. He glances over at you with poor hidden surprise, turning almost immediately back to the road and shrugging. It's just gluing some stuff together, really. It's one way to talk about it. No, really, it takes a lot of skill. Okay. Do you have any other hobbies? He rolls his shoulder back in a shrug, his head tilting off a bit toward the window. These days I spend most of my time on the boat with Ford, hunting monsters, discovering things. Family business. He pauses, watching the road without expression. I use D-books. Really? I wouldn't mind showing you a few things if you wanted. I would love that! After about 20 minutes of rural scenery, Stan pulls off the road and onto a long gravel driveway that disappears into woods. Is this the place? Stan nods and rounds a turn to reveal a clearing populated by a trailer home and a couple of sheds. The trailer is a bit run down and shabby, and one of the sheds look like it's about one strong sneeze from collapsing. Not really the place you want to be at night while alone with a guy you practically just met. It's a Stan, sweet, it's okay. Be honest, did you bring me here to murder me? Stan laughs, cutting the engine and resting his arm on the back of the front seat. Is that my seat? Is he making a move? Wink, wink. Wink, 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 wink. Unfortunately, you figured it out, so now I definitely got to kill you. I'm just kidding, kid. Relax. Don't tell me, kid. I am a woman. He moves to get out of his car and turns back and with a creepy, blank expression on his face. Or am I? You chuckle nervously and he laughs again, pushing the front door open. Seriously, I'm kidding. Won't be long. At the door to the trailer, Stan knocks and the door opens on a dark interior before he walks inside. The door shuts behind him. You give the yard a few curious glances before realizing that the weird pile of sticks you've been looking at are actually bones. You quickly pull out your phone to look at instead. Well, you know, when you eat an animal, there are bones left. And you need bones to create more weird, things you can sell. Like you could glue the bones together and call it a bony. 10 minutes later, Stan stands back carrying a large card box in both hands. You see him fumble with the handle of the rear. Well, should I go help him? A moment before you reach back over the seat and pop. Oh, okay, I open it for him. A pick in the box reveals a few curious shades of forest somethings and an animal skull you don't recognize. This doesn't seem like something worth busting out all your darkest that's for. We aren't by any chance robbing a bank, are we? Because I would have brought gloves. Stan laughs. No, nothing like that. They were suspicious about you, Stan. He starts the car up again and you're back on the road. Hello, can I just tickle your ear and your chin? You have a very big chin, I just realized. Somehow it's not quite convinced. I'm not quite convinced. Well, who knows where the night's gonna take us? Could be illegal, could be not. That's a problem? Nope. When in Rome, right? Stan takes the highway. The final minutes of the sunset burned orange and purple ahead of you, while the welcome sign of the gravity force disappeared in the back mirror. A new song comes up in the radio. Disco girl coming through, that girl is you. Bones relaxes about to laugh and his fingers get back to tapping. Human music! I know that I'm doing the joke again, but do you hear the music? In the retreating light, you can see faded patches of the rim of the steering wheel, the color worn away from decades worth of his touch. Oh, I wish I would be the steering wheel. The passenger seat you sit in hasn't yet taken on the shape of someone specific. Even after all this time, the spring still feels brand new. Yeah, he usually drives alone, or he already changed the passenger seat. Meanwhile, on the driver's side of the car, Stan settled easily into his seat, which fits him as well as a fine tailored jacket. Yeah, are you talking about his butt? You tuck your leg under its mate, leaning back onto the dark leather of the devil's interior, and watch car pass and recede out in the windshield. After a few minutes of music-backed silence, you feel like breaking it. Ask about the car. Stan mobile here. Stan pats the dashboard affectionately, running over the leather interior. I've had her since high school. Nice ride, ain't she? I'm still impressed an all-rocket packet like this is still. They really don't make them like they used to, don't they? Nope, they sure don't. How about you? You from Oregon? Nah, I'm from East Jersey, a little town called Glass Shard Beach. Oh yeah, name your town after something dangerous. That will bring the tourists in. You would be surprised. What's it like? Well, why move out then? That's a long story. It looks like we're gonna have a long ride ahead of us. His voice is quiet and he watches the road ahead with intense focus, but the expression doesn't last long before he brightens and smiles over at you. You don't want to hear it anyways. I want to hear it! Stan. So why are there fences around graveyards? My granddad had the heart of a lion. Why are there fences around the graveyard? Stan glances over at you, double checking that this is a setup for a show. I don't know why. Because people are dying to get in. Yeah, right? He thinks a minute, presumably to come up with a joke on his own. Alright, a blonde walks into a bank in New York City. Oh no, this isn't gonna be one of those awful blondes are dumb jokes, isn't it? Oh. Can I tell the joke? I don't know, can you? No. Oh no. Anyways, blonde walks into the bank in New York. I am blonde, alright? So I'm gonna take offense if you do something wrong, Stan. She goes up to the bank manager and she says, I'd like to take out a loan for $5,000. I'm taking a vacation overseas. A car passes you on the highway, 20 over the speed limit, and Stan swears and then stifles it. Sheesh, night drivers. So the bank manager goes, well, miss, do you have a collateral? We would need a collateral for that kind of loan. And she nods, and she does, and says she does. And she takes the bank manager out to the parking lot where she's got a $50,000 Ferrari waiting. And she says, this is my car. You can hold on to it until I pay back the loan. Stan continues glancing over and trying to suppress a smile. The bank manager is confused, but he figures if this lady doesn't pay, he's gonna have a nice new Ferrari in his garage, so he agrees. A sign for exit ahead points off the right. The text reading County Road 328, and Stan takes it off the highway. So he gives the blonde her 5 Gs, she hands him the car keys, and she heads off to Europe. A month later, she shows up again in a bank with the 5 Gs and the interest for the loan, which figures out to be to about $15. Stan continues turning down an unlit gravel road, the headlights casting spooky shadows through trees. The bank manager takes the repayment for the loan and the interest and has one of his employees bring the car out in front of the bank for the blonde. What? I'm so confused. Out ahead on the road, a deer turns his face to the car and then leaps across the road to disappear in the woods. Just before she leaves, the bank manager stops the blonde and says, lady, I'm a little confused here. You're clearly loaded enough to afford this car and you paid back the loan and then some. Why take out the loan if you're so rich? And the lady turns to him, runs a hand through her hair and says, where else can I park my car in New York City for 2 weeks for only $15? Oh, that's great. Alright, I take it back. That was the best blonde joke I've ever heard. Oh, well, I have one. Right, I'm gonna tell you a joke. That's gonna be how we end this video. So, I'm blonde, so I know that we blondes are dumb, and also I'm a woman, and women blonde are the most dumb creatures alive, obviously. So I can tell this joke. So there is a blonde on a canoe in the middle of the cornfield, and she's trying to, pedal. Is that the word? She's trying to pedal on a canoe in the middle of the cornfield, and cars are passing by, and then one car passes by, and then another one car stops, and another blonde comes out of the car, and she's like, oh my god, girl, you are the example why everyone calls blonde girls dumb, and you are the stupidest person I've ever seen. If I could swim, I would get you and make you smarter. I know that it lost something in the translation because I'm not really good in translating, but you get the joke. Did you laugh? If you laughed, leave a like, subscribe to see more, and I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.